And I see it's gone to some astrology. Well, baby, I can see your face.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Luminescent. I am here, your host, the Archangel Elenia, and I just want to make sure everyone is feeling good, feeling cool today. If not, things always get better. It will always work out. Getting to know astrology, we're going to dive into something that doesn't get talked about enough, which is Ceres. Following my moon series and teaching nurturing through astrology, this is actually going to deepen that understanding in a very powerful way. So because Ceres is not just a mother energy, it is how we give, how we receive, how we process nourishment, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So what is Ceres? Ceres is an asteroid, but don't let that minimize her importance. In mythology, Ceres is the Roman goddess of agriculture, and the equivalent of her is Demeter. And she represents motherhood, grief and separation, cycles of loss and return, harvest and sustenance, emotional attachment through caretaking. Now, if you know the story of Demeter, you know her daughter Persephone was taken to the underworld and she wants to go get her. Now, she couldn't take her because they explained because if she ate from the underworld, then she became, part of that place. And she had bitten Persephone, the pomegranate of the underworld. So they came up with an arrangement where she would be able to visit her, which gave us the story of our seasons, 6 months throughout the year. So when spring comes, she's returned. And then when fall comes, she goes back to the underworld, and that is where Demeter or Ceres would be grieving the loss of Persephone while she's in the underworld, because that's not a place that she frequents or can sustain herself in. In astrology, Ceres shows us how you mature, what makes you feel safe, what kind of care you crave, your attachment style through nourishment, what grief transforms you, where grief transforms you. It's deeply connected to abandonment wounds, issues with self-worth, or even emotional survival. So Ceres in the natal chart. Natal chart, Ceres will tell you how you were nurtured, what you equate to love, how you instinctively take care of others, where you may overgive or withhold. So you want to look at the sign. It tells you the style of nurturing. The house tells you where the nurturing is taking place. And then the aspects made to Ceres will tell you the emotional patterns that are tied to this particular care. So for example, if you have Ceres in a fire sign, you gain or you nurture through motivation and empowerment. Earth signs nurture through stability and practical and physical provisioning. Air signs nurture through communication and perspective, relationships. Water may nurture through emotional bonding and protection. All right. So if you have Ceres heavily aspected by Saturn, there could be some type of restriction or responsibility placed on you early in life when it came to your nurturing and development, and then you could project that energy onto others. Ceres being touched by, say, Pluto, nurturing may feel intense, transformative, or tied to some type of abandonment wound. So Ceres tells us where nourishment becomes our power, and its glyph, it looks like the scythe that they use to cut wheat at the time of harvesting, which we're going to get into that as well. So Ceres in a progressed chart, okay, we looked at the natal, now we're looking at a progressed chart. In secondary progression, Ceres shows you how your nurturing style has evolved over time. Okay, so when Ceres progress signs and it shifts, you may shift how you give and receive care. You may redefine what safety means for you. You may detach from old emotional styles and roles and shift into new ones. For example, if your natal Ceres is in Cancer, it's going to progress into Leo. At that time, you may move away from emotional caretaking to creative self-expression as a form of nourishment. Progress Ceres sign activations can also cause healing periods, grieving cycles, motherhood transitions, as well as emotional maturation, like some emotional maturity or intelligence will be taking place. If Ceres is the Progress Ceres conjunction moon, that's a major emotional reset in regards to how you're nurturing, and the moon being a very intimate location in the chart. With Ceres, it's like it's kind of put on like a blast that your nurturing style or how you choose to nurture is definitely going to be shifting from what you used to know as nurturing, giving, receiving, and nourishment. If it aspects your Venus, this is what you redefining what love is, and how you express love, how you receive love, appreciation, self-respect, self-worth, and even how you start to look at things you possess in your life, because all of that relates to Venus, and that includes relationships. Ceres and Synestry. Okay, so let's talk about relationships. Ceres in a Synestry chart shows where two people are able to nourish and nurture each other, or where they may fail or drop the ball in doing so. When someone's Ceres shows up in your chart, if it touches your moon, they may feel emotionally familiar to you. If it touches your Venus, they may nurture you in a love language that you need and understand. If their Ceres touches your Sun, you may feel supported in who you choose to identify or how you consciously recognize yourself. Ceres touching your or someone's Ceres touching your Saturn, the care may be conditional or based around some type of duty, or it could even be connected to how you make money. And Ceres touching Pluto, there could be an intense attachment or some type of emotional dependency on someone. It can lead to obsession. If someone's Ceres is activating your 8th house, means that their Ceres sits in your 8th house. There could be a deep bonding through shared vulnerability, being able to open up and discuss your deepest secrets or feelings with someone that you don't normally share, grows the intimacy in the relationship. If someone's Ceres is sitting in your 12th house, this is nourishing through something that feels karmic or subconscious, like it's something you can't physically touch and see, in that type of way, but it still exists even though you don't see it. Okay, you could just feel it. It's like almost invisible. So Ceres Synestry can also show you who feels safe, who is draining you, who triggers your abandonment wounds, or what triggers your abandonment wounds, as well as what will help you heal, bring the nourishment back to you. And it's especially important aspect when it comes to parent and child relationships to look in your chart, especially even progress charts, Synestry charts, or even a composite chart for parent-child, as well as romantic relationships and businesses and things of that nature. So the shadow side of Ceres, everything has a light and a dark. So for Ceres, it's not just about comfort. Her mythology includes loss, grief, withholding harvest, because during the fall is when things kind of go off and die, and then we get into winter where things are still, there's no movement whatsoever. It's just about being with yourself silent. There is no outward manifestation of growth or maturity. Things are more in or underground and hidden inside. So with the withholding of the harvest, or the wheat not growing during the fall and winter months, is symbolizing the time where her child was taken. Okay, during that time is when she was grieving. So the shadow side of Ceres is emotional manipulation through care, over mothering or smothering, as some people may call it, self-sacrificing to the point where you resent someone, where you continuously are giving up things that you want to work on, and then being upset with them when you made the decision to sacrifice yourself. And them saying that they're not going to, you know, reciprocate can breed resentment. Starving yourself while you feed everyone else. Okay, and this is a big one for a lot of people who are in tune with their femininity, not specifically male or female, but people who are now very in tune with their femininity have been getting to a point where we're kind of shutting off and allowing people to find nourishment in themselves rather than nourishing strictly from us. So this asteroid definitely will teach you boundaries and nourishment. Okay, and you have to have boundaries in place in order for something to grow. Otherwise, if there's no structure, Saturn, then it can be kind of chaotic when it comes to growth. You'll just have overgrowth, Jupiter, and that has to have a balance, Libra. So if you want to understand your emotional ecosystem beyond the moon, Ceres is a great way to point to that, especially if you even have aspects from the moon to your Ceres placement. You want to ask yourself, do I over nurture? Do I struggle with receiving care? Do I equate love with sacrifice? Giving, like having to give something, you know, special, or devotion, you know what I'm saying? Do you equate those things together? Okay. Your Ceres placement will actually answer those questions for you. And if you don't know where Ceres is in your chart, you can definitely go online on a like AstroSeek or astro.com or something like that, and just look over and find where Ceres is in your chart and start observing some of the energy that plays out in your life and how it's tied to that placement. You know, if this did help you understand astrology a bit more on a deeper level, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, if you would like a deeper breakdown of your chart, whether it's your natal, progressed, or a relationship synastry reading, you can definitely book with me through the link tree that will be listed below. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.